My Telegram channel has a lot of interesting stories. Link in the description.
You were born in 1130, and back in those days, I gotta say, congrats on popping out as a boy, that was a big win. Your folks are just regular Joes in the kingdom of Temeria. Dad's busting his ass plowing the fields, Mom's keeping the home fires burning. Y'all ain't rolling in dough, but you scrape by with the basics. You've got 6 siblings total, and you're the 7th wheel. Lots of mouths to feed, life's a real grind physically, but otherwise pretty straightforward. But yo, that's all about to flip upside down cause you've got a gnarly fate waiting for YA. To get the full scoop, let's rewind a bit. A few years before you showed up, your old man was heading back from the city where he hustled his crops every day. It was pitch black, him solo on his wagon, when bam, something jumps him. This bony freak with flippers on its feet, razor-sharp claws, and webbed fingers. Kinda like a diver from hell, but nah. It had these bulgy, massive eyes staring every which way, and a head shaped like a football, you know, the American kind. This thing was straight up a drowner. Not the toughest monster out there, but deadly AF for a normie like your dad. You'd think he's toast, right? But he catches a glimpse behind the beast, a silhouette with glowing, yellow eyes and cat-like pupils. This mystery dude sneaks up super slick and silent, whips out one of his 2 swords, and slices the drowner clean in half with one swing. Boom, that's a Witcher, pro monster slayer. Life saved. Lucky break, huh? But what's the catch for that kinda bailout? Dad rolls back home without sail-lin squat. The country's in a total economic dumpster fire, no spare cash, hell, no cash period. The Witcher, seeing how your pops owes him big time and how broke he is, offers a way to square up, the law of surprise. If you ain't up on that, it's this ancient custom for claiming payment via destiny. The rule? The saved dude gotta cough up something to his savior that neither knows about yet. The line simple, give me what you already have but don't know about. Sounds harmless, right? Pops thinks so too. He's stoked, heading home clueless about the real deal. He spills the beans to your mom, who's crying but relieved. How'd she manage alone, especially since, plot twist, she's preggers? And that's when Dad's eyes go wide with horror. He realizes he just promised his unborn kid to the Witcher. Fast forward about 8 years. You're growing slow on that skimpy diet, playing with the neighborhood kids, helping with chores, living cozy and safe. Then one day, this stranger shows up at your door, staring you down hard. You're clueless what's going on, but Dad clocks him instantly. It's the Witcher who saved his bacon. Witcher straight up tells Dad he's here to collect what's his. Dad's frozen in shock, Mom's bawling while hugging you tight. You feel the vibes all tense and you're lost AF. The Witcher steps up, explains the whole mess, and says you're his prize by the law of surprise. Mom lets go, eyes full of fear. No matter how bad she wants to keep you, or how much Dad behind the Witcher is itching to grab a pitchfork, everyone knows you can't break that law. Refuse, and it's not the king or courts that punish YA, it's fate itself. Instant death, like some big shot upstairs is just waiting to smite you. You don't wanna bounce, but the Witcher grabs your hand, and you'll dip from your hood. Your new mentor hauls you north toward the Blue Mountains. Everything familiar's in the rear view. Weeks on the road give him time to drop the bomb on your future. And dude, it ain't sunshine and rainbows. The world's crawling with beasts from other dimensions, and your gig? Hunting and waxing them one by one for your super long life, if you don't get got first. He schools you on tracking prints, ghosting through the woods silent like, and most importantly, staying alive when everything's gunning for YA. Your trek lands you at Kaer Morhen, this ancient fortress in the Blue Mountains of Quen, reached only by a sketchy mountain path. The castle's epic at first glance, till you realize it's your new prison for years. Crossing the courtyard, you spot about a dozen boys like you, ages 7 to 12. Some handed over for debts, others sold by desperate parents, the rest orphans with nowhere to crash. There are old witchers too, scarred up, with that dead-eyed stare. They are your new coaches. Training kicks off ASAP, and it's beyond what any kid can handle. They are trying to turn you into a mini super soldier on steroids. You'll got a schedule like boot camp from hell. Up before dawn for PT, sprints up mountain slopes with heavy packs. Sparring with wooden swords. Practicing stealth moves and building toughness. The Witcher trainers are ice cold, no sympathy. Screw up? Get a brutal beatdown. They also teach you to read, wild, since peasants are usually illiterate. But Witchers gotta study bestiaries and contracts, mix alchemy potions, and spot magic signs. You learn monster lore, how to tell a Nekker from a drowner, spot a bruiser versus a higher vampire. What oils and elixirs wreck which beasts. Being a Witcher means cramming hundreds of tomes to know how to stalk and off every kind of freak. The grind's merciless, and the other boys become your ride-or-die crew in this misery. Shared dorm, same crap food, identical harsh punishments for mess-ups, which happen a ton. But that's not the worst. The real nightmare's knowing what's coming. See, becoming a Witcher has two phases. First is the basics, learning and beefing up your body. Second, the trial of the grasses. A deadly, inhumane, straight-up sadistic initiation ritual that either mutates you into a real Witcher or sends you to the grave. At 12, it's your turn. The trial's a series of alchemical makeovers, turning a normie into a Witcher. You chug mutagenic brews, extracts from rare plants and monster essences. They overhaul your biology hardcore. The process is Torture City, with like a 3 in 10 survival rate. Most kids don't make it. Years of training with this hanging over your head. They drag you down to the lab under the keep. Cold stone room with alchemy gear and restraint tables. They strap you in and feed you the first mutagen. Tastes like ass, burns your guts on the way down. Minutes later, pain explodes everywhere. Feels like your blood's boiling, bones cracking. You scream till your voice gives out, then black out from the agony. Wake up. Next dose, rinse and repeat for days. Sucks, but surviving the grasses ain't enough. Next up's the trial of dreams or mutation. You get special mutagens that amp your senses beyond human limits. When you finally snap out of the nightmare, everything's changed. Eyes got cat slits, letting you see in near total dark. Reflexes? Superhuman speed. You react faster than any regular dude. Strength boosted, bones denser, metabolism flipped to survive on scraps and shrug off poisons that'd kill normals. Emotions? Dulled, not on purpose, side effect. Feelings are there, but distant, under control. Oh, and total sterility, no kids ever, irreversible mutation fallout. At the start, there were about 10 of y'all. And? Just 2 left. But hey, you scored badass magic powers as trauma comp called signs, basic combat magic with a hand gesture. Igni lets you blast fire from your palms to roast foes. Quen throws up a magic shield around you. Aard? Telekinetic blast to yeet enemies or bust doors. Yarden sets mystic traps to slow monsters. And Axie messes with mines to calm raging beasts. Training drags on a few more years. After surviving the rituals and mastering your new tricks, you ain't full Witcher yet. Still gotta pass the trial of the mountains or circle of elements. Final test, a risky trek. Swim icy lakes near Kaer Morhen, sneak through caves past a sleeping cyclops without waking it, or you're fighting, then climb Troll's Head Mountain, battling pissed-off rock trolls, to hit the circle of elements and activate your medallion. Honestly, after all that crap, it wasn't as bad as it sounded. Now, congrats, you're officially a Witcher. Prize? A horse, school standard armor, and 2 blades, silver for monsters, steel for humans. Finally, you can hit the road solo, go wherever. Expected to carve your path, Tarkeen contracts to slay beasts for coin. But plot twist, folks hate Witcher's guts. You mutants, bro, look humanish, but those cat eyes and pale as ghost skin scream, freak or diseased, and peeps avoid you like the plague. They get major creeps around you, see you as unnatural, barely human. Parents scare kids with Witcher tales to make them behave, and Church of the Eternal Fire priests call you abominations. Some villages straight up boot you out, others tolerate you as the lesser evil cause there's a bigger monster bugged in them more than you do. But lesson 2 of Witcher life, humans are cheapskates AF. Even though you're one of the few on the continent who can handle these horrors, they'll haggle you down to peanuts. Most'd rather gamble their families than pay fair for pro-monster killing. You end up taking half the ask just to eat. And boom, your first gig as a Witcher. Fresh start. You sniff out clues with your amped senses, find tracks like Nekkers. Track their lair, gear up for your debut pro fight. Nekkers are knee-high, but with blade-sharp claws and needle teeth that shred anything. Solo? Weak sauce compared to big bads, but they pack hunt, using tunnels to surround prey. Battle pops off, and they are quicker than you figured. Claws rip your leather armor like tissue, forcing you to pull out all stops, poisons, signs, every sword trick. You drop the last one, barely surviving against some of the lamest monsters out there. But that's just the opener to a long, brutal career. Years roll by, contract after contract. You learn Witcher life's all wandering, isolation, and racking your brain for which tome has the deets on whatever's trying to munch you this week. You scrap with drowners, griffins, striegers, and all kinda nasties. Time ticks, 30, 40, 50 years. Witchers age slow, mutations stretch your lifespan. You'll prop hit over a century if nothing offs you first. Sounds dope? Nah, cause everyone you care about ages normal. Can't build real bonds, especially always on the move, never home. Eventually, you snag a contract that's too much. Villagers whine about a Leshen in the woods. You head out, days pass. They send a scout, find 2 bodies, Leshen's and yours. They loot your swords and medallion for sale, bury you in an unmarked grave, just glad the monster problem's solved. That's what it means to be a Witcher. Snatched as a kid, shoved through training designed to kill YA. No family, no settling down, no escaping what you became. Long life, but mostly solo, scarred up, knowing some beast'll eventually be faster, stronger, or luckier. And now you're dead, nobody remembers you. Did you like this story? If the fate of Witcher touched your heart, give it a like. That's the best thank you for all my efforts.
My Telegram channel has a lot of interesting stories. Link in the description.